Well, it's been a while since I've done a video, as you can see. Today's video, I guess, is going to kind of be just like a life update. Um, where do I begin? Okay, so for anybody who has been following me for a while or watching my videos, I've mentioned this before, but my husband and I, as of my last video, we're in the process of becoming licensed foster parents. We have since then been licensed. We were actually licensed, I want to say the second week of October. And, at first, we didn't get a placement as quickly as I thought we were going to, which is good. I think God has a plan. So, our first placement was going to come in His timing anyway. But we did end up getting our very first placement for the Friday before Halloween. So that's last Friday. She's a 3-year-old little girl, and she's a handful. To sum up the week, do you see how crappy I look right now? That's my week. I mean, sleep is no more. Drinking coffee that's hot, good luck with that. I'm exhausted. We're just trying to get a routine, and we're just trying to take it one day at a time. We're both learning each other. I'm setting boundaries. My husband's setting boundaries. Trying to feel each other out and, just really take it day by day. The lows this week were definitely the behavior that happens after visitation. Visitation was not... I think it's great that she sees her mom when the social worker says it's okay. But I think once a week is enough. I don't know that mom was told that she's not allowed to come up to daycare randomly. And she showed up like the next day or the day after the visit. And it was very disruptive. She handled it okay during daycare, but it's after daycare and at nighttime where her behavior gets like atrocious. And it's every time she has a visit. She is acting out in anger about what's going on and what she can't control. And it's been very challenging trying to deal with that behavior. And I'm not going to lie to you, I feel a little disappointed in the system. I feel like we're kind of on this boat by ourselves because our social workers, and I say workers because there's been more than one involved, are hard to get on the phone when we need them. There was the issue at the daycare this week, and nobody called us back, and it's just been really challenging, but we're just taking it day by day. We would never do anything to keep her from her mom or not follow along with whatever plan it is that we have for reunification or whatever the plan is. But we don't know what the plan is. It's only been a week. Nobody's really communicating with us without us having to call and beg for information or demand for information. And I'm just a little disappointed in that because I just felt like we would have more conversation. Essentially, if I'm being honest, they essentially dropped this child off at our house at 10 o'clock on a Friday night. And here it is the following Saturday, and nobody's been over here to see her. Nobody knows anything about our home or how she's doing, other than they saw her at the visitation on Tuesday. That's all. I don't know what I expected. I don't want them to be like all up my rear end every 5 minutes, but I just felt like we would get more support than we're getting. And for me, that's been the hard part because the system is a broken system, hands down. And you don't realize how broken it is until you are in a situation where you are, fostering these children. And that's really devastating to me. But we're just praying about it, and we'll just go from there. That's all we can do. Although we're dealing with outburst of bad behavior after her visitations, You know, she's very smart for her age. She's very sweet sometimes. I mean, she's a typical 3-year-old. You know, she definitely has typical 3-year-old tantrums and not wanting to listen and wanting to argue and asking why and making you want to pull your hair out. But at the same time, that behavior is manageable when she has a consistent routine and when people are giving her the attention that she needs and the care that she needs. And, you know, every time, well, the last 2 times, which, I mean, we've only had her a week, but the 2 times that following visits from mom, you know, it's like we regress a lot. I mean, there's very aggressive behavior. I mean, I don't want to go into it right now. It's a lot. I guess I feel on this journey completely alone. You know, I don't know a lot of people that are doing this. The people I do know, you know, are being very helpful though, and answering questions and, you know, offering childcare if we need it, and just being really supportive. And that's very helpful. But at the same time, like, I still feel alone. I know that doesn't make sense because I just said we have people that we can we can utilize who have been through this, who are currently foster parents, who live near us and go to our church. But at the same time, I still feel alone in this. And me and my husband kind of feel alone in this. And I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just because it's so new. So we'll just have to see. Second thing is, my RNY gastric bypass surgery has been officially approved as of Friday by my health insurance, which is good because it's scheduled already. So I would have hated to show it up, or to have shown up to the hospital for them to be like, just kidding, we're not paying for it. So I check in this Monday, November 7th at 7:30 a.m. I check in, and I will be staying overnight at least one night. So not only do we have our first foster placement, but I'm also having gastric bypass surgery. Life happens. You know, we've been trying to become licensed foster parents for over a year now. The process took a lot longer than it should have, in my opinion, but that's a whole nother tangent I'm not going to go down right now. God has a sense of humor, and, you know, everything happens in His timing, and it doesn't have to make sense to us why we got a foster placement a week before my gastric bypass surgery, but it is what it is, and we're just taking it day by day, and we're asking for help when we need it, and we're praying. And, you know, she's a very smart 3-year-old. We've already talked to her about, you know, Mama Jessica having surgery and what that would mean for her week and what kind of things we need for her to do. You know, we keep talking to her, so she understands, and I know she understands. She remembers everything. So anybody watching this, if you could say some prayers for us while we navigate through whatever the plan is with our first placement. I'm not going to share any details about how we have her or, like, the reason that she's in foster care, because that's her business. And that's, you know, our social worker knows, me and my husband and our family know, but that's not really a lot. I don't want to share that with too many people. So I'm not going to put that on social media. Anybody who's watching this that knows me in real life, if you know anything about her, like her real name or, you know, her background, I just really urge you not to mention those details in social media because it's not appropriate. You know, we can't really share many photos of her, so you're not going to see a lot of photos on my Instagram page or anything like that. So, you know, I just ask that you guys pray for us and pray for me for having surgery on Monday, and we'll just go from there. So I will try to do an update next week after surgery, and do an update on how foster parenting week number 2 went. And that's it. So talk to you later.